Imagine a world where the Industrial Revolution happened 2,000 years ago. Picture ancient Greek scholars not just debating philosophy in marble halls, but hunched over workbenches, assembling complex bronze gears with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker. This isn't an alternative history novel. It is the haunting reality revealed by a corroded, calcified lump of metal recovered from the depths of the Aegean Sea, a device so advanced it effectively shouldn't exist. The story begins in the spring of 1900 near the tiny, rugged island of Antikythera. A group of Greek sponge divers led by Captain Dimitrios Kondos were returning from Africa when a massive storm forced them to drop anchor in the island's treacherous waters. When the gale finally subsided, one diver, Elias Stadiatis, donned his heavy copper and brass helmet and descended 150 feet into the dark, silent abyss. He expected to find sponges. Instead, he emerged from the water trembling, his eyes wide with terror. He gasped out a chilling report. He had found a heap of dead, rotting women on the seafloor. What Stadiatis had actually discovered was a ghostly graveyard of art, a massive Roman shipwreck from the 1st century BCE, filled with bronze and marble statues eroded by 2 millennia of salt water. Among the treasures hauled to the surface, exquisite jewelry, jars of aged wine, and masterpieces of sculpture, was a nondescript green-crusted block of bronze about the size of a large book. For 2 years, it sat ignored in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, overshadowed by the breathtaking Antikythera youth statue. It wasn't until May 1902 that archaeologist Valerios Stais noticed something that defied all historical logic. The bronze lump had split open, revealing a series of interlocking gear wheels. This was a mechanical impossibility. According to every history book ever written, complex differential gearing wasn't invented until the 14th century in Europe. Yet here, in a wreck dated to 60 BCE, was a machine that looked like it belonged in the age of steam and clocks. For nearly a century, the Antikythera Mechanism remained a silent enigma. Historians were dismissive, some even suggesting it was a modern clock that had accidentally fallen onto an ancient wreck. But the truth was far more profound. In the 1970s and 2000s, using cutting-edge X-ray and CT scanning technology, scientists finally peered inside the corroded shell. What they found left the scientific community in a state of shock. 30 intricate bronze gears, some with teeth as small as 1 millimeter, all working in perfect harmony. This was the world's first analog computer. The machine was a 3D map of the heavens. By turning a small hand crank on its side, the user could fast forward or rewind the cosmos. On its front face, pointers moved across a circular dial to show the exact positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the 5 planets known to the ancients: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It didn't just track their paths, it accounted for the strange retrograde motion of planets, a concept that stumped astronomers for centuries. But the genius didn't stop there. The back of the device featured 2 large spiral dials. One was a sophisticated lunar solar calendar that tracked the Metonic cycle, a 19-year period used to synchronize the lunar month with the solar year. The second dial was an eclipse predictor, so accurate that it could tell the user not only when an eclipse would occur, but also the direction of the shadow and the likely color of the moon during the event. It even featured a tiny dial that tracked the 4-year cycle of the Pan-Hellenic Games, ensuring that the ancient world knew exactly when the next Olympics would begin. Perhaps the most breathtaking discovery was the pin and slot mechanism. The Greeks had realized that the moon moves faster when it is closer to the Earth and slower when it is further away, an elliptical orbit. To simulate this varying speed using circular gears, they used a pin in one gear that slid into a slot in another, slightly offset gear. This level of mechanical engineering wouldn't be seen again in the Western world for 1,500 years. It was as if someone had found a jet engine in a medieval castle. Who was the genius behind this? The inscriptions on the device, written in tiny hairline coin Greek, offer some clues. The dialect suggests the device might have originated from Corinth or its colony, Syracuse, the home of the legendary mathematician Archimedes. While the wreck itself was Roman, the machine was undoubtedly Greek. Some believe it was part of a shipment of looted treasures being sent to Rome to celebrate Julius Caesar's triumph. The existence of the Antikythera Mechanism forces us to rewrite the history of technology. It suggests that the ancient Greeks were on the verge of a mechanical age that simply vanished. Why didn't this lead to an industrial revolution? The answer likely lies in the volatility of history. Bronze was expensive and easily melted down for weapons. Great libraries were burned, and the specialized knowledge required to build such machines was held by only a few masters. When the Roman Empire shifted and the Mediterranean became a war zone, the thread of this advanced technology was snapped. Imagine for a second if that thread hadn't been broken, if the knowledge of the Antikythera Mechanism had been preserved and built upon. Humanity might have landed on the moon by the year 1000. We might have bypassed the Dark Ages entirely. Today, the 82 fragments of the mechanism are kept in a high-security vault in Athens. They look like charred, ancient remains, but they are the most important artifacts ever recovered from the sea. They serve as a humbling reminder that our ancestors were far more brilliant than we give them credit for. They were masters of the stars and the forge, capable of building computers out of bronze and dreams. The Antikythera Mechanism remains a ghost from a future that was lost. It is a testament to the heights human curiosity can reach and a warning of how easily progress can be forgotten. It is the machine that shouldn't exist, and yet it stands as the ultimate proof that the impossible is merely a challenge we haven't solved yet.